That is millions of dollars back in your pocket, literally by making a free phone call to get free help with Medicare. Absolutely incredible. Take advantage of that. I partner with them to help you in this community for free because I love free stuff and I want to help you with free stuff as well. All right, anyway, we're going to talk about some numbers here. Let's put this article up on the screen first. Feel free to read through the details on this. Let me talk through this super fast here, and then we're going to get into some real dollar amounts as I've already run the calculations for you, and I'm going to say this much. I anticipate these numbers to get a whole lot bigger. All right, anyway, not that many days ago, we received the most recent inflation data, as in the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. However, that's not necessarily the data we want to look at. We want to look at the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is a data point buried within the inflation report. Anyway, inflation's hot. Okay, that's all we really need to say. You know this. Okay, prices are getting jacked up. Prices are all over the place. They continue to skyrocket. Meanwhile, we continue to hear the reports that say, there's no inflation. Don't worry. There's no inflation. You don't see a thing here. Yeah, right. We already know this. Anyway, long story short, we have a couple different estimates that are out there. The Senior Citizens League, otherwise known as TSCL, which I've referred to many, many, many times here on the channel over the last several years, they have an estimate of a 3.8% raise. I like what Senior Citizens League is doing. I don't agree with that number, though. I'm just being 100% fair with you. However, I do really, really like what the Senior Citizens League does, but I think the number's going to come in way higher than that. However, we have an independent analyst, Mary Johnson, who we hear from every single month as well. She's coming in with her estimate at 4.7%. Now, I agree more with Mary. Maybe Mary watches the videos here on the channel because I talk about these numbers all the time. So maybe Mary is watching videos. Hey, Mary, if you are, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. We are certainly in alignment with what we're thinking as far as the goal here. In fact, I'm projecting out even further, and I think we're going to be sitting way higher than that. In fact, I had a video out last week where I think we're going to be between 5.5% and 6% by the time that we actually get there. Anyway, we're going to use Mary Johnson's numbers here in this video for practical purposes because I think we're easily within the 4.7% range, probably put quite a bit higher than that. But we're going to use the 4.7% figure to determine how much of a raise we would likely be getting off of this data. All right, so anyway, I've already gone through the calculations here. I'm going to run through some simple dollar amounts, as in benefit amounts, and I'm going to tell you exactly what a 4.7% COLA would look like for the respective dollar amounts here, okay? And obviously, we can go through a whole lot more numbers in future videos, but just to give you a little perspective on what this would actually look like as far as more money being deposited for you. All right, let's run through some of these dollar amounts, and then we'll talk about some other details as well. Okay. So a $600 monthly benefit, if you're getting a $600 monthly benefit, applying a potential 4.7% raise to that would add an additional $28 per month to that person's monthly benefit. Okay, it's not too bad considering what we've seen a few months ago where that number was a whole lot smaller. Anyway, a $700 monthly benefit. If someone's getting $700, applying a potential 4.7% raise to that would increase their benefit by $32 a month. An $800 benefit, applying a potential 4.7% raise would increase their benefit by $37 per month. A $900 monthly benefit, applying a potential 4.7% raise to that would increase their benefit by $42 per month. Now, if somebody's getting a $1,000 monthly benefit, applying a potential 4.7% raise would increase their benefit by $47 per month. Now, if somebody's getting the average disability benefit of about $1,600 a month, applying a potential 4.7% raise to that would increase their benefit by $75 a month, which honestly, $75 a month would be pretty helpful right now, right? Don't get me wrong, wouldn't get you too far, but it would certainly help quite a bit. I mean, you'd probably feel that a little bit in a good way. That'd be nice. Now, if you were getting the average benefit of about $2,000 per month, applying a potential 4.7% raise to that would increase your benefit by $94 per month. Obviously, the higher the benefit, the higher the raise, and it goes on and on and on. Okay. That's what we're looking at as of right now. Now, I'm going to say this. I had a video out last week, and I said this earlier in this video. I think, based on the trend, the speed, the velocity, and the direction of inflation, I am giving an estimate between the ranges of 5.5% and 6% based on what we're looking at right now. Now, I gave the disclaimer last week in that video and I said all is subject to change. Inflation could stall out, inflation could dry up, inflation could go down. Don't think it's going to do any of those. Or even worse, they could tinker with the numbers and manipulate/lie to us and tell us that no, there's no inflation anymore. What are you talking about? They could do that as well. Either way, if these numbers hold true and they continue to move on, I believe that we're going to be sitting easily above the 5.5% to 6% range, somewhere between there as far as the raise. Let's cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, another thing I want to point out is obviously the 2027 Medicare Part B premium. Okay, obviously we don't know what that's going to be as of right now. As I film this video, we don't know, but the projection is coming in right around the $220 a month. So that'd be an increase of about $17 more above and beyond what it is now, just under $203 a month as of right now. Okay, but again, we got to take that into consideration. But let's just say that they raise the COLA by say 4.7, again, being conservative. I think it's going to be a bit higher than that, easily 1% higher than that. But let's just say it's 4.7, and let's just say that they raise the Part B premium by, say, $17 more. Obviously, that's going to offset the COLA quite a bit, but needless to say,